Hey, before we do anything else, I need you to really listen to this. What I'm about to share with you isn't a set of dry doctrines or neatly packaged truths. It's what I had to pay for with 77 years of my life, through loss, doubt, and the kind of real painful stumbles that leave marks. And I promise you this, whether you're someone who prays 5 times a day, or someone who has never once stepped inside a place of worship, these words are for you. So please, don't scroll past. Stay with me for just a few minutes. My name is Arthur. I'm 77 years old this year. I've spent nearly my entire life wrestling with a question that I believe, at some point, every person on this earth asks themselves. What do I truly believe in? I grew up in a family where Sundays were never negotiable. Every week, without fail, my family sat in the same church pews. My father was a deacon. My mother taught Sunday school. I memorized Bible verses before I even knew how to tie my own shoes. Back then, everything felt clear. The world was neatly divided into right and wrong, black and white. The answers were already there, and if doubt ever crept in, you were better off keeping it to yourself. But there's one thing no one tells you when you're young. Life doesn't care about your certainty. It comes at you with experiences that don't fit into any of the tidy answers you were taught. When I was 24, my closest friend died in a car accident. He was a good man, better than me in many ways, kind, generous, always ready to help others. And then, in a single instant, he was gone. I stood at his funeral, listening to the familiar words about God's plan, about a better place, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel sadness. I felt anger. Those words no longer meant anything to me. That anger marked the beginning of a journey I could never turn back from. I started asking real questions, not the kind where you already know the acceptable answers. I read everything I could get my hands on: the Bible, the Quran, Buddhist texts, Hindu philosophy, and the writings of people who didn't believe in anything at all. And I began to see that every belief system carries a piece of the truth, not the whole thing, but never meaningless. About 30 years ago, I became friends with a Muslim colleague at work. To be honest, at first I kept my distance. My head was full of prejudice. But one night, working late, we truly talked. He spoke about prayer, about charity, about humility before something greater than himself. And in that moment, I realized he was describing exactly what I used to feel when I prayed. Different words, different rituals, but the longing to connect was exactly the same. I'm not saying all religions are the same. The differences matter. They are different languages for expressing something that is almost impossible to name. But after many years, I've come to recognize a shared core. Love others, help where you can, stay humble, and never act as if you have all the answers. I've taken part in Jewish ceremonies, sat in meditation with Buddhists, and worshipped alongside Pentecostals. And each time I found something that felt true. But I've also seen the darker side. Religion used as a weapon. Families torn apart. Children pushed away simply for asking questions. Cruel acts justified in the name of God. Every time I witnessed that, it broke my heart, because that was never what faith was meant to be. When I was 50, my life fell apart. My marriage was strained, my finances collapsed, and I turned to alcohol. One night, alone in my garage, I prayed in the only way I knew how. No scripture, no beautiful words, just raw honesty. I didn't know what I believed anymore, but I needed help. There was no miracle, just a cup of coffee with my neighbor the next morning, a conversation that kept me from sinking any deeper. Was that God, coincidence, or human kindness? I don't know. And maybe it doesn't matter. The older I get, the less certain I become. I don't know if there's a heaven. I don't know what happens after death. And I'm at peace with not knowing. This mystery is bigger than all of us. The right response isn't certainty. It's awe and humility. I understand why so many young people walk away from religion. They see hypocrisy, judgment, and pain. I understand that. But please, don't abandon the search for meaning just because you were given poor answers. Don't stop asking questions. Don't stop seeking connection. I still go to church, not out of obligation, but because being present with others nourishes me. I have Muslim friends I drink coffee with every week. I read Buddhist teachings before bed. I learn from atheists. The point isn't being right or wrong. It's curiosity and humility. My wife passed away 3 years ago, after 52 years of marriage. When she asked me whether we would see each other again, I told her I didn't know. But I hoped so. And that hope is enough to keep me living with kindness. What matters isn't what you believe. It's how you treat people because of that belief. If your faith makes you more loving, then it's doing what it's meant to do. I'm 77 years old, and I'm still learning, still asking questions. And I wouldn't choose any other way to live. So whether you believe or you don't, know this. Your questions are valid. Doubt is not weakness. The search for meaning is deeply human. Stay curious. Stay humble. Love others. Help where you can. And keep asking the big questions. There's a channel here where people my age share what life has taught them through hardship, change, and growth. If this resonates with you, I'd be grateful if you subscribed and turned on notifications. Maybe something we share will help you along your own journey. And if you have a story of your own, don't hesitate to share it. Keep searching, keep asking questions, and keep living with kindness.